York, New York. I was very, very excited. I left my sophomore year of high school, and I was going to save the world. I walked down the long entrance ramp of the interstate to the main road, and I stuck my thumb out. I had a small backpack, $4 in my pocket. And many, many, many cars went by. No one stopped. Finally, a car stopped well behind me. And about 100 yards, maybe 2. And I ran up to the car with my backpack, and it was a Pontiac SS, which was a sporty Pontiac 2-door with a bucket seat that swiveled around so you could get out of the seat really easy. And it was a very cool car, and it had black vinyl throughout the interior. And seated in the driver's seat was this man with dirty blonde hair and a dirty blonde mustache. And I sat down and we started going east. And he didn't say anything. He didn't talk for miles and miles. And then finally he turned to me and he said, "You know what I do?" And I said, "No, what do you do?" And I'm 17 years old. And he said, "I'm a butcher." And I took this opportunity to point out that I was a vegetarian. I didn't eat anything that crawls, walks, swims, or flies. And he didn't like that very much, I don't think. And he said, "Let me show you something." And he took out a satchel, a velvet satchel, and he plopped it down on my lap. And he very delicately pulled the strings from the satchel, and he splayed it out on my lap. He pulled an instrument from the satchel, a very, very large silver carving knife. And he looked at me, and he said, "Do you know what this one's for?" I said, "No." He said, "This is for deboning." I reminded him I was a vegetarian, and he pulled out another knife. And he said, "You know what this one's for?" And I said, "No." He said, "This one's for skinning." And he pulled a third knife out, and he said, "This one's for finishing." And then there was one for trimming. And so on it went until he had pulled out all of the knives from his satchel, and they just lay in a jumble on my lap. He looked at me, he looked at the road, he looked at me, he looked at the road. He said, "Aren't you scared?" And I looked at him, and it didn't occur to me why I might be scared. And I said, No, I'm not afraid. I'll be, probably make it to Ohio tonight, and, I'll find someplace to sleep, and I'll be in New York maybe as soon as, the next day. So no, I'm not scared at all. I'll be fine. And he looked at me, and he looked back at the road, and then California lane change. We were on the shoulder of the road. He reached over my lap, and he flung the door open, and he took his jack boot, and he kicked my ass out onto the shoulder of the road, and I rolled, and then he threw my backpack out after me. And as he pulled away, I lay there in a cloud of white, thick smoke from the burning rubber, and I lay there and I thought to myself, what the hell just happened to me? Thank you. My memoir, you can find examples of my memoir on badmooney.com. Badmooney.com. Thanks.